Throughout history, every age has been marked by a defining voice, a figure who captures the essence of the times and influences generations to come. In the golden age of Periclean Greece, that voice was undeniably Plato's. His ideas brought philosophy out of the shadows, transforming it into a beacon accessible to anyone with a curious mind. Even today, more than 2,000 years after his death, Plato's teachings continue to resonate, inspiring countless thinkers and students. Join me as we delve into the life and legacy of one of the most influential philosophers of all time. The early life of Plato was born in Athens around 428 BCE, during the 88th Olympiad, if we are to trust the account of Diogenes Laertius. His birth name was Aristocles, though he later acquired the nickname Plato, possibly referring to his broad shoulders, forehead, or even his athletic build, depending on the source. His family belonged to Athens' aristocracy, giving him access to an exceptional education and opportunities to observe the political workings of the city-state firsthand. In his youth, Plato excelled as an athlete, reportedly competing in events at the Isthmian Games, but his path would soon take a significant turn when he encountered Socrates, the enigmatic philosopher whose probing questions and relentless pursuit of truth left a profound mark on him. Under Socrates' guidance, Plato's love for philosophy blossomed, steering him away from a life of politics or physical pursuits and toward intellectual exploration. The death of Socrates and Plato's exile. Plato's life was irrevocably altered when Socrates was sentenced to death in 399 BCE. Socrates' crime, encouraging critical thinking and questioning the status quo, actions the Athenian authority deemed dangerous. Plato, then only 28 years old, was devastated by the loss of his mentor. To make matters worse, his association with Socrates made him a suspect in the eyes of the authorities, particularly regarding an alleged plot to help Socrates escape. Concerned for his safety, Plato's friends encouraged him to leave Athens. Plato embarked on a series of travels, though the exact details remain shrouded in mystery. Some accounts suggest he journeyed to Egypt, where he studied with priests and scholars, absorbing lessons on mathematics and theology. Others claim he traveled to southern Italy, Judea, and even as far as India, engaging with diverse philosophical and religious traditions. These experiences undoubtedly enriched his understanding of the world, laying the foundation for the universal themes in his work. Returned to Athens and founding the Academy. After 12 years of exploration and study, Plato returned to Athens in 387 BCE at the age of 40. Upon his return, he founded the Academy, one of the first formal institutions of higher learning in the Western world. Located on the outskirts of Athens, this school became a hub for intellectual inquiry, attracting students from across Greece and beyond. Notable among these was Aristotle, who would later become a towering philosopher in his own right. At the Academy, Plato penned a series of dialogues that cemented his reputation as a philosopher of unparalleled depth and vision. His works, written as conversations often featuring Socrates, explored a wide range of topics, from ethics and politics to metaphysics and epistemology. Central to his thinking was the belief that reason and wisdom should guide human actions, a conviction deeply influenced by witnessing Socrates' execution at the hands of a democratic government. Plato's political philosophy, the ideal state. Plato's disillusionment with democracy, which he blamed for Socrates' death, inspired one of his most famous works, The Republic. In this dialogue, Plato set out to define justice and imagine a political system capable of fostering a harmonious and virtuous society. At its core, The Republic is a response to the chaos and corruption Plato saw in Athens' government. He argued that the flaws of human nature, particularly greed, ambition, and ignorance, were the root causes of political instability. Plato analyzed the cyclical nature of political systems, tracing how they degenerate over time. Aristocracy, the rule of the best, devolves into oligarchy when wealth replaces virtue as the basis for power. Oligarchy, in turn, collapses into democracy when the masses, driven by resentment and inequality, overthrow the elite. Finally, democracy's emphasis on unchecked freedom leads to disorder, paving the way for tyranny as people turn to a single ruler to restore order. Plato believed this vicious cycle could only be broken by entrusting power to philosopher kings, leaders guided by reason and a deep understanding of human nature. The tripartite soul and social roles central to Plato's vision of the ideal state is his concept of the tripartite soul. He believed that human behavior is driven by three distinct elements: desire, emotion, and reason. These elements also correspond to the roles individuals play in society: producers, farmers, merchants, and artisans whose lives are guided by desire and material needs; auxiliaries, soldiers and administrators motivated by emotion, ambition, and courage; guardians, the philosopher kings who embody reason and wisdom. For Plato, justice was achieved when each individual performed the role for which they were naturally suited, contributing to the greater harmony of society. This ideal mirrored his belief that a just man is a man in the right place, doing his best and giving back in equal measure to what he receives. Education and the path to leadership. Plato's system for selecting leaders was as rigorous as it was idealistic. Education, he argued, should be open to all, regardless of gender, class, or background. Children would begin their training with physical exercise, music, and moral instruction, allowing their natural talents to emerge. At age 20, they would face their first major examination, separating those suited for productive roles from those with the potential for higher education. The remaining candidates would study mathematics, philosophy, and politics for a decade before undergoing a second, more challenging test at age 30. Those who passed would continue their education in governance and metaphysics until age 50, after which they would emerge as philosopher kings, ready to lead with wisdom and justice. Metaphysics and the theory of forms. Plato's philosophical vision extended far beyond politics. His theory of forms remains one of the most influential ideas in metaphysics. Plato argued that the physical world we perceive through our senses is merely a shadow of a higher, eternal reality, the realm of forms. For instance, while individual dogs may vary in appearance, they all share the unchanging form of dogness, an abstract ideal that exists beyond time and space. This duality of existence between the imperfect physical realm and the perfect realm of forms is illustrated in the Republic through the allegory of the cave. In this famous metaphor, Plato likens ordinary people to prisoners chained in a cave, mistaking shadows on the wall for reality. The philosopher, however, seeks to break free and discover the truth, the unchanging forms that underlie the fleeting appearances of the material world. Plato's legacy. Plato passed away around 348 BCE, but his influence endured. His ideas shaped not only the philosophy of his time, but also the trajectory of Western thought for centuries to come. While his vision of an ideal state remains an unfulfilled dream, the questions he raised about justice, governance, and the nature of reality continue to provoke debate and inspire new generations of thinkers. Through his life and work, Plato taught us that the pursuit of wisdom is not just a path to personal enlightenment, but a foundation for a better society. Whether you agree with his ideals or view them as impractical, Plato's philosophy remains a powerful reminder of humanity's potential to rise above its flaws and strive for truth, harmony, and justice.